you're still watching Wiz. Now they are fluffy and playful, and they yip and bark and are just all adorable and all around, and all they want is to be loved. I guess you can begin to guess what I'm talking about. It's National Puppies Day. That's right. Puppies are beautiful. National Puppy Day celebrates that most adorable of our four-footed friends, the baby canine, and it's quite possibly the cutest day ever. It doesn't matter the breed or gender. All puppies are the perfect solution to a terrible day. Interesting.
Until they become adults.
I don't play with those things.
Are you a dog lover?
I grew up with dogs, so I don't know if that qualifies me as a dog lover. But I did. I mean, my dad is a dog lover, so we grew up with dogs. When something happens to one, the next thing, hey, we're escorting another one home. So I was used. In fact, I actually have a scar
From a dog.
that still reminds me of my experiences with dogs.
Wow. And that is the reason I don't want to experience dogs. Because why do I have to have a scar because I want to have a pet?
Oh, but the puppies, well, they're so cute.
I fell in love with a puppy
me,
one time.
As puppies until they
But the owner then gave me out.
I would
that was
actually
sad.
prefer the poodles, because the poodles are, you know, a smaller breed of dogs.
They don't get bigger,
They don't
right?
get bigger. They just remain there, like smallies.
I'm not sure I could, I really admire the way, you know, people who love dogs allowed them into their beds. And I've lived with dogs, and we did the best we could, taking care of them, making sure they had their vet appointments, washing them down, you know, general care. But there's still that distinct smell. I don't know how people do it. Kudos to them, kudos. But it's not for me. My kids, they'll always like, oh, can we get? I said, when you're an adult in your own house, by all means.
And you can care for them yourself.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm not having another baby in the house.
I'm not even in the mood to have a pet that I want to take care of, because taking care of me alone is a problem.
Is it?
So why would I see people having cats these
Maybe
days,
a
they have
parrot.
like multiple cats.
Parrots.
Anything I have to take care of and clean up after.
You just throw in seeds.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
And I won't have to like clean
No, you're
the
not
nest
washing,
and
you're not doing
anything.
anything.
It just has to be there.
No, it's
okay,
just
I can
there.
consider
Okay.
that.
I have to
But is
look
it
for
dog,
the-
cats? Nah.
the laziest pet to take care of. We
Is
have
what?
to look for that. I don't know.
She says it's parrots.
A parrot. They talk a lot.
You don't like that.
But if you talk a lot, then they'll talk a lot.
Oh, really? I don't think so. There's a reason why they call them parrots. There's a reason why they say you're talking like a parrot.
Okay, let's find out who's going first. Noah, what did you find for us in the news?
Okay. Wow. And my phone decides to lock up.
Okay, before you come in.
Okay,
should
please
I
go
take
ahead.
mine?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. Mine is a good story, and it's, you know, as much as we are complaining that the country is not conducive for the youths, and they're, you know, trying to, you know, carve a benchmark for themselves in wherever capacity they find themselves, or in whatever way they can, you know, contribute to the society. So my story is from is about a Nigerian woman who becomes the first black female president of a college in the United States, and her name is Toyin Tofade, and this was she was coined as she was made the first black president, female black president, in the college called Albany College of Pharmacy and Health Sciences, which was founded in 1881.
Wow.
So if that college was founded in 1881, you would know the tradition which has been accrued, you know, that is
Traditional
that
institution.
this institution that has been accrued to that institution. So we know that for her to be reinstated, or no, sorry,
In a place of position.
in a place
High.
of position. Thank you. In a place of position, and
She
given
deserves
that
it.
role, that means that she knows her onions. So I would say kudos to all Nigerians who find
I love
themselves
it.
abroad and are trying to carve a niche for themselves in whatever capacity they can.
I love it when Nigerians represent Nigeria.
But Nigerians always
in
do.
we have a lot, but you know, a lot of times in the news, you don't hear too much about
Well, you
success
know what they
stories.
say about bad
It's
news,
mostly
it travels
about,
faster.
Yeah, I know.
So we have a lot more Nigerians doing amazing things in
Absolutely,
every
and we
part
need
of
to,
the
like we
world.
say he allowed it.
You know, and the news come up once in a while, we talk about it, but it doesn't stick like a bad news. You know how it went when what's this guy's name, Obi-Wan issue happened.
Yeah.
You know, Hush Puppy, whenever the news is out there, it's like the poster boy of Nigeria. But that's not who we are. Like, we have amazing people, we have professors, we have people. In fact, I can say that if you go to any
Innovators,
company that is doing things that are innovations, like you have said, or that are doing things that are changing the world, check very well. A Nigerian is there somewhere.
Absolutely.
So that's how proud I am of being a Nigerian and having Nigerians around me.
Absolutely.
You know, so thank you for taking that story.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you. You see,
Let's talk about something on the
good,
back.
right?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I'm going to bring a downturn to that beautiful moment we just experienced now, because there was a terrible fire, gridlock, and caused a whole lot of gridlock today as under the bridge at Apongbon, in Lagos Island, was raised. Shops were raised on fire. So the story goes that fire today gutted shops under the Apongbon section of the Eko Bridge in Lagos State, and the fire incident caused gridlock and crippled commercial activities around the Lagos Island area of the state. So though the cause of the fire incident could not be ascertained at the time of filing this report, it was learned that the goods worth millions of naira were also destroyed by the fire. And Eko Bridge had to be rerouted to a road to link into Marina. And of course, men of the fire service battled really hard to be able to get the fire under control, but it was devastating as well, because a lot of people lost properties. Thankfully, as of now, we haven't recorded any incidents of loss of life or death, but the properties that were destroyed were running into millions of naira, and it was just so
that's a major market.
It was just so heartbreaking. My problem, I mean, I was listening to the radio today, and I heard some of the people who were affected, someone who had a shop there for over 35 years.
Wow.
She had been selling under the bridge for 35 years.
I just hope they have some form of insurance as well.
A lot of them do not have insurance.
Oh my
and
goodness.
some of these shops are not, they don't have the permit to be able to sell. A lot of them are under the bridge, directly under the bridge.
So it can't be insured
right,
anyway.
so they are not even insured. You're not even. But
They're not proper shops.
they're not proper shops. And another thing is that some of these people will also be paying some form of levies over the
Definitely.
years. And
This is
so
Lagos.
there's a lot of, I mean, corruption into this matter. If you look into it,
Local government.
I mean, it's a whole lot. It's a whole lot, because government, you're wondering, how are these shops for somebody to be under the bridge for 35 years?
Wow.
And it's an illegal structure, right? And times the number of illegal structures that are there, it was someone's duty to make sure. And this has also, we don't even know how far it affected the bridge, because the bridge is on lockdown now until it passes the integrity test. We wouldn't know.
So that means the bridge has
these
been
are
shut down.
the implications of this, and it's something that Lagos State government seriously needs to look into.
It seems we just go from one problem to the other in this
Wow.
Lagos State
It's a
especially.
kind
I don't know.
of
So now
worms
that's so from now
one
going
after
till
the other.
till they're done with the integrity test, we are now going to face a level of traffic, right?
And there should be a diversion somewhere
Oh, goodness.
in the course
Okay.
of all of this.
So my story is, it's not a sad story.
Thankfully.
It can be a feel-good story, but it's about growth, and
Okay.
I mean, we love growth here on Ways.
Absolutely.
So we've also had conversation around it, which is the Nigeria Startup Bill. We've had people who are sort of championing this progress, and they've been here on the show, I think sometime last year. So right now, the House of Representatives has passed it for second reading to establish a regulatory framework for the tech startup. One of the very key things in there is that employees of startups are to begin to get 35% tax break as reps pass bill for second reading. I guess this was important to highlight it based on the conversation too that was happening yesterday in terms of toxic workplaces. And you know, most of them were really pointing towards the tech ecosystem as well. So I guess that was why it was important for Premium Times to also come from this angle. So it went on to read that the bill, an executive bill sent to the House of Representatives on the 3rd of March by President Muhammadu Buhari, seeks to provide a legal framework for the operations of tech startups in the country. An eligible employee of a labeled startup shall be entitled to personal income tax exemption of 35% on the income of the employee for a period of 2 years from the date of engagement by a labeled startup. Now, I think this is really interesting because it goes beyond giving tax breaks to the company and then giving to the employee as well. So I don't know why you are making that face.
It's all about implementation.
Issy has her doubts.
Implementation, right?
It's all about implementation.
Well,
if it's not going to be implemented by the government, it will. If it is implemented by the government, will it be implemented by the startup, by the company? That's another thing you should also look into. So there is so much disconnect between everything, and what was the process was going to be in place for them to ensure that each staff that comes on board is able to actually enjoy these
I'm being
benefits.
very hopeful for this one because even from the conception of this bill and how it has gone really fast to where it is now, and the kind of people that are pushing it, I'm hoping that they are also looking at the implementation part of it as well, because I know they're supposed to set up like a so what I'm seeing here is the bill seeks to also create National Council for Digital Innovation and Entrepreneurship with the mandate to provide the policy direction for the council, which includes the creation of the startup support and engagement portal. So, I mean, everything looks like it's going towards the right direction. I also agree that it's okay to be skeptical, especially this is Nigeria. Implementation is usually a problem because I know we have a lot of these policies, a lot of bills and laws everywhere, but you know, so I'm hoping that this is different, but I also like that this bill is happening and we'll keep monitoring the progress from this end.
So long as they make it as transparent as possible.
Yes, absolutely, and it's been so far. Okay, I think it's time for a very quick break, and when we come back, our guest will be joining us to discuss airports in Nigeria.